Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Rue, and welcome back to another live stream. So I'm on my own today, so definitely leave your questions in the comment section below. I'll also be going through all your questions on Twitter. So I did put a post out on Twitter, and I asked for some questions, and I will be answering them too. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. It does help me out. And yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's have a chat. Good morning to those in Australia, and yeah, I guess good night to those in the UK and anywhere else in between. We'll get off with a few questions that are in the chat here now. So we've got a one that is a common one, I guess. Played Dubravka or Johnston. It is a tough one because Spurs away is not the easiest fixture, but at the same time, Johnston does have Liverpool at home. For me, I'd probably just go for Dubravka. I think Newcastle are a better defence than Crystal Palace. So for that reason, I would go for Dubravka. Best captain option. For me, it has to be Haaland. Luton away. Salah is not a bad captain option. I think Palace are in very bad form at the moment. I don't think they've won in 4 games. So it is close. But for me, I'd be going for Haaland. I think Luton away. I think the fact that City haven't won in 4 game weeks, I think they'll be angry, and I think Haaland will want to, I guess, prove a point and try and get City's form back. Next, Sterling or Palmer. So I'm in the same situation, to be honest. Obviously, I've got Mbermo. For me, I am going to go for Palmer. I just think the penalties, the price point, I'd say the guaranteed minutes as well. I think Chelsea have a lot of options on the wing. They've got Modric, they've got Madueke, they've got Nkuku that could play there as well. But obviously Palmer, I think is a little bit more nailed. Yeah, Nkuku can play in the number 10 too, but for me, I do think Palmer is nailed for a good, few weeks, and he's playing so well as well. So that's another massive thing. So I'd probably just go Palmer. Also, Raheem Sterling's on 4 yellow cards. So you're always running a risk that he's going to miss a game if he does get another yellow card. So for me, it's not worth the risk. Palmer, you're going to save money. You're going to have someone that's on penalties, and you're not going to have that threat of the yellow card. Mr. Blanky. So I bought in Palmer for Mbermo right now before the price rise. I was in 2 minds with Palmer and Gordon, but ultimately went with Palmer. Hope I made the right decision. I think for the short term, definitely. The next 3 game weeks do look really, really good for Palmer. And to be honest, I don't think there's much between them. I do like Gordon. I am a Gordon owner, and I'm probably going to bring in Palmer for Mbermo in an hour or so. I'll do it live on stream, live transfers. But I'd say there's not much to split between them. And I'd probably say Chelsea's fixtures are slightly better over the short term. Obviously, like I said, when Nkuku comes back, it could change things up in that Chelsea attack. But for now, I like Palmer. He's on penalties. So I don't think you made a bad decision. I think it's 50-50 between them two. I'm also thinking of captain Salah over Haaland because Haaland might be rested, I hear. Yeah, I've heard this as well, but I can't really see that happening. I just think they haven't won in 4 games. They need to win, really. The Pep's not going to want them to kind of go another game without winning, and I think they need their best team. And Luton are no mugs. Like, we saw how good they did against Arsenal midweek. They scored 3 goals, obviously conceded 4, but they almost beat Liverpool apart from that last-minute equaliser. They only lost 1-0 to Spurs and Newcastle. So Luton are no mugs at home. So I think Pep will want to play his best team. One more question, and then we'll get on to the Twitter questions. Best replacements for Gahey and Udogie. So I'm in a similar boat. So I've got Cash and Gahey. So if you can afford it, I would go for someone like Pedro Porro or Reece James. I know a lot of people are worried about Reece James's minutes, which I am too. So I'm potentially going to go Porro instead. But if you don't have the money, it is a bit of a tricky one. I'd probably look for someone like it's a tough one. I'd probably look for a Fulham defender. I know it's a bit out there, but you don't really have many options at the moment. Any defender you go for is probably not going to keep a clean sheet. So it is a tough decision to go for. I'd probably keep Udogie though, to be honest. I wouldn't be getting rid of Udogie. I think Spurs are going to have okay fixtures coming up. I'd say pretty good fixtures. Yes, he's not as attacking as Pedro Porro, but he still does get up there. And for me, yeah, I'd probably keep Udogie. For Gahey, it's a difficult one. Around that price point, you're really struggling. But like I said, I actually don't mind a Fulham defender because I think Fulham are going under the radar. We kind of assume them as being the team that is going to get thrashed 4-0 every game. But at the moment, they're actually not in bad form. And yes, like I said, they're not great defensively, but they do have some good fixtures coming up. And for that, yeah, I think that reason, I think Fulham are not a bad shout. So West Ham at home, Newcastle away. But then they've got Burnley at home and Bournemouth away. So them 4 fixtures you're probably going to take. And I think it's one of them ones that go under the radar. Maybe even someone like Robinson, who's with 3 assists, maybe a little bit attacking, 4.4 million. But other than that, you're not. It's a big struggle. You could go for someone like Colwill, the Chelsea defender, 4.5 million. Not sure if he's gone up now, but around that price point. Let me just check. Yeah, 4.5 million. So that's another good option. Chelsea's fixtures, we all know how good they can be. So for me, with Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away, Palace at home, Luton away, Fulham at home, I think Colwill could be a good option too. We'll get on to the Twitter questions now. So this was my tweet that I put out. Hopefully you can all see that. Maybe we'll get it like this. Okay, cool. We'll get it up like that. Hopefully you can all see that. So start off with the first one with Byron Tones. So my team is not 100% solid. Have Haaland, Silva, Walker from City, and if I bench all 3 in a few game weeks, I'll end up with non-players out of Silva or Walker, which goes. It's a tough one. I'll probably get rid of Silva though, because I do think that defender options are limited, and I feel like it's easier to bench a defender in game week 18 than bench Silva. You're going to want all your attacking players. That's where the majority of points come from. So for me, I'd probably get rid of Silva. In terms of options, you have a few out there. You can go for someone like Bowen if you've got the money, Palmer, as we talk about, Gordon. There are a few options, and I think there's better options in midfield. So for that reason, I'd probably be getting rid of Silva in preparation for game week 18. Next question is, do I sell Son for Palmer? Who is better to sell Son for, or do I keep Son? Will he play? So we'll go with, will he play first? I think he will play. I think he's too crucial to what Spurs are about. He's the captain. He's our number 9 at the moment. I think he will play. We've seen this happen earlier on in the season, or even the last few seasons, how Son has picked up an injury and it's looked like he's going to be out, but he actually plays and shrugs it off. I think he's the kind of guy that will play through an injury, to be honest. I'm not saying long-term it's a good thing, but I think for the next game week, I think he will play. Even though it's such a short turnaround, I do think Son will play. And let's put it into a separate situation. So if I think he'll play, if I won't think he'll play, should he sell him? It's for Palmer. I think if you don't think he'll play, then I think selling him to Palmer is a good move. You could go for someone like Bowen or Gordon. Any of these options I think are really, really good if you wanted to sell Son. There isn't no one, I'd say, around Son's price point unless you don't have Saka, unless you don't have someone like maybe like a Martinelli or around that sort of price point, then go for Saka. But if not, go for Gordon, Palmer, Bowen. They're really, really good options in the midfield if you think Son's not going to play. If you think he's going to play, don't stress about it. I think he will play. So yeah, I'll be keeping Son. I am going to be keeping Son, but you'll see with my live transfers I do a bit later on. So question here, I want to transfer out Mbeumo. Who should be replacement, Palmer or Sterling? I answered that in the comments, and I think Palmer is a much better option than Sterling. He's on penalties. Is the big thing. Sterling's on 4 yellow cards as well, which is a massive, massive deal. Especially, any time of the season it's annoying, but especially now when there are a lot of fixtures. You need your players. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of rotation. You can't, for me anyway, I can't really be affording to let a player be suspended for 1 game week. I kind of need all my players at the moment. So for that reason, I probably would go for Palmer. The fact he's on penalties too, it makes a massive, massive deal. So next question we got here. So which are the best defenders to play in a 4-5-1 formation in game week 16? My current squad is Bentley, Sanchez, Trent, Trippier, Tsimikas, Taylor, Kabore, Salah, Saka, Son, Palmer, Gordon, Haaland, Semenyo, and Mubama. Okay, I'm not sure. I would actually play Semenyo. I think Man United can concede. I think Bournemouth are on fire at the moment. So I'd be playing Semenyo and go for a 3-5-2. But obviously, if you don't want to do that, I'd probably be playing Trent, Tsimikas, and Trippier, and Taylor. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is that a separate? Maybe that's a separate question because there's only really 4 you can play as. Kabore isn't eligible because he's playing against his parent club. He's on loan from Manchester City. So yeah, I'm not sure what the question is there. But if it's just what are the best defenders to play in a 4-5-1 anyway, I'd probably say Trippier, Trent, Porro, and then after that you're struggling. You probably have to go for a Man City defender, but obviously they've got the blank. But you probably have to go for that if you're going to be playing 4-5-1. Someone like a Walker or a Diaz or a Kanji, someone like that. So a question from Christian here. Hypothetically, Porro's coming into the squad. Which of the following do you bench for him this week? Trippier, Tsimikas, Foden, or Alvarez? I think it's got to be Trippier. I know I just don't like benching. I really, really don't like benching forwards. So for me, I'd go for a defender. And I think Tsimikas has a good fixture against Palace. I think he will play after missing the last game. Foden, Alvarez looting away. I just wouldn't risk it. Yes, there's an opportunity they could get benched, but I just wouldn't risk it. So for me, I'd probably have to bench Trippier. But having said that, do you really need Porro if you're having to bench Trippier? Maybe ask yourself that question. Another question. So from Christian, which Everton players should we target given their upturn in form? I actually like Branthwaite, the 4.1 million defender. I think he's started every game this season. He's gone under the radar. Yes, but this is the same for any team in the league at the moment. The clean sheets are not guaranteed or even a possibility at all. But I think the fact that he's 4.1 million and can sit in your bench, I really do like him as an option. When I do play my wild card in game week 19 or 20, I will be bringing him in. He's kept 2 clean sheets in a row now as well, so they can keep clean sheets, and their fixtures are tricky, but they're not overly tricky. So Chelsea at home, I do fancy Everton to get a result in that game. Burnley away, but then they've got Spurs away and City at home. But after that, they've got Wolves, Villa, Fulham, before Spurs and City again. So the fixtures are a bit mixed, but I do like the look of Branthwaite. That's about it, really. The core rate I do like, but I just think there are too many options in the midfield at the moment. So another question here. So after Klopp said Alisson has a chance of playing, start him or keep on the bench as I'm an Alisson owner, and if he doesn't play, I have to Brathwaite on the bench. Yeah, I'd start him. I think Alisson has a better fixture. He's not going to come on, is he? He's not going. I don't think he'll come on. So I think definitely start Alvarez. We have a quick look if there's any more questions in here. So is Doku still out? So Pep actually didn't speak about him. So I'm going to assume that he is still out because Pep didn't speak about him. But definitely have a look at the Man City pages on Twitter and see what they're saying. Because yeah, Pep didn't actually mention him, which is a strange one, as surely you'd be asking that question if you were a journalist. Is Doku fit to play? But yeah, Pep didn't mention him. We'll see if there's any more questions in here. But I think that's it. Yeah. So that's it. So we'll just get to the ones in the chat now. If you're still watching, make sure you leave your questions in the chat. We will be going through my live transfers very soon. Okay. So we'll get this one up here from Kieran. So do I start a Dingra, Solanke, or Saliba? That is a tough one because Saliba, I think, will concede at Villa. Villa are very, very good at home. So I probably won't be starting Saliba. Even though it depends though, who are you going to start in defence instead of him? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Is he better than him? Then start him. But I wouldn't be playing 4 at the back to play Saliba. Adingra, very good fixture. Burnley at home. I think he will start. So that's definitely a good option. And then Solanke is an absolute beast, can score against anyone. He's got Man United away. But for me, I'd probably be going for the fixture. I'd be going for Adingra. You know, Brighton can score goals. So for me, Adingra is the person to go for. Robinson, yeah, like I just mentioned it, yeah, really good option. 3 assists so far this season, and I think Fulham have some good fixtures. So yeah, for that reason, I think Robertson is a good pick. Thanks, mate. It's pretty late here, so I'm going to dip off. I'll see you tomorrow for a deadline. Good luck with everything. Cheers, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, leave your questions in the comment section below. I'll be going through my transfers now, live transfers, live team selection. I'll be doing them live on stream as well. So leave your comments in the comment section below and share the stream with someone else. And the more people in here, the better we can have a conversation about FPL. But yeah, I'll get that up now, my team. All right, so this is how the team's shaping up for the game week. So you've got Onana in goal, Bournemouth at home. Onana's actually done all right for me this season, to be honest. He's actually not been too bad. He's kept me 3 clean sheets in a row the other day, so that was incredible. He's got a few save points for me as well, so yeah, I can't really complain with Onana. So yeah, he's a player that I'm probably going to be keeping until I do play my wild card. So yeah, he'll be staying in my team. Bournemouth at home, I think, although Bournemouth are looking much better at the moment. They're in kind of good form, to be honest. I just think, yeah, but Man United are a different animal at home. So happy to be playing Onana in that fixture. Next up, I've got Mark Gahey in here, but you'll see with my transfers that I'm going to do now that he won't be starting. But he's in there, Liverpool at home. Palace have been shocking, to be honest, the last few game weeks. They haven't won in 4. So, yeah, really bad from them. They've only won 1 in the last 8 as well. So, yeah, Palace defenders, you got to get them out your team as soon as possible. Lascelles is a worry, but Eddie Howe did come out saying it was a dead leg, which doesn't sound serious, but it actually can be, especially when you're a professional sports person. A dead leg can put you out for at least a week. And obviously with the quick turnaround, it's not great news that one of your players has a dead leg, but hopefully Lascelles is all right. I don't think they have many options in that position. So for me, I have to play Lascelles because I'm just like Newcastle. I don't have many options in that position. So yeah, Lascelles is playing. Simicast, Palace away, probably my most confident defender. He didn't start the last game, so I think he will start this game. Like I said, Palace have been awful the last 8 games. And I think Simicast is on course for a clean sheet, if not an attacking return as well. So, yeah, I think Simicast is a player that everyone should be playing this game week. The midfield, so you've got Mbermo, so he will be coming out my team. We'll do that in about 10 minutes' time after I go through my team. Yeah, it's a real shame as I've just brought him in. And he's just got injured, and I just took him out for Bowen, who obviously was injured. So it is a tough one, but he will be coming out, and I'll let you know who for once I get my transfers up. Gordon, not ideal playing him against Spurs away, but Spurs do concede. So for that reason, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, Gordon's been so good this season. I actually brought him in before everyone, and then he got the yellow card, ended up being suspended for a game, so I had to take him out, which was annoying. I should have kept him in for that game, but I just didn't want to end up having to play Kabore, I think it was, instead of obviously transferring out Gordon. But in the end, whoever I transferred him out for didn't do the business, so that was annoying. Saka, Mr. Consistent, hasn't only got 1 double-digit haul so far this season, which was in game week 6 against Spurs away, Spurs at home. But Villa away is not the easiest game. Villa are a very good team. Brighton, I think there'll be goals in that one, so happy to have Saka for that one, and then Liverpool away. Son, bit of a worry with the injury. Ange said it was like a knock. It could be serious, or that's the way I interpreted it, which is not ideal. But I do think Son will play. I think if there were, okay, let's put it like this: if there were better options than Son out there at the moment, so say if there were, say if De Bruyne was fit and you had the money, you could go up to De Bruyne, then fair enough. Or say if Rashford was firing or Bruno was firing and you can just swap to them, then fair enough. But at the moment, I don't think around that price point there are better options. I think Son is one of the best midfielders, obviously, apart from Salah, this season, to be honest, in terms of goals and output, in terms of like what you want for FPL. So for that reason, I am willing to risk it and keep Son, and I think he will play. So I don't think it's that much of a big risk. Salah, I'm expecting big things from him this week. As I've said, Palace are shocking. They haven't won they've won 1 in 8 games, which is terrible. It seems like the kind of Vieira form, they've kind of gone back to that way. I'm not too sure how long Roy Hodgson can stay there, to be honest. I know he's done a good job playing attacking football, and they do have a lot of injuries with Eze. Elise was out. Mitchell's now injured as well, left back. So it is tough for them, but I think Salah is due for a big haul after only getting 2 assists in the last 3 game weeks, and that was Fulham at home and Sheffield United away in that. So I think Salah is definitely due a big haul. The strikers, Julian Alvarez and Haaland, both with Luton away. I'm a bit worried about Alvarez's minutes, but he did come off around the 67th minute last time out, which is surely a good sign. It does mean Pep's kind of resting him for the next game. So I do think Alvarez will start in that one. Haaland, there's been a lot of talk that Haaland won't start. Surely they can't afford to rest Haaland after not winning in 4 games. Surely. What do you think? Let me know. Do you think they'll rest Haaland? But I can't see it, to be honest. And then the bench is Matty Cash, Mubama, and Kabore. We'll go to my transfers now. Let's just see if there's any questions. Anyone's left any questions? Okay, we got a question here from Lloyd AJ. Is Chan better than Palmer? I don't think he is. I think he's on 4 yellow cards as well. I think Chelsea's fixtures are better. Yes, you could argue that Chan is in better form, but I think that's a bit of a myth. I think Palmer's been ticking away nicely with the points. I think Chelsea's fixtures look really good. He's on penalties. So's Chan, but yeah, I think I would go for Palmer. Hello. Kind regards from Venezuela. Hello, nice to join on the screen. Please subscribe, like the video, everyone that's out there, and yeah, let me know where you're from. It's pretty interesting. I'm in Australia, but I'm from the UK. Background from Cyprus, but yeah, let me know where you're from in the comment section below, and leave your FPL questions as well. And who's your captain? Who's your transfers? We'll go into my transfers now. So I got 0.2 in the bank, which is not ideal. I'd like a bit more, but I guess we all like a bit more. It is a tough one. So with the goalkeepers, I think I'm just gonna have to stick with Onana until I do play my wild card. Cash has probably got to go, which is annoying, and Burma has got to go. So I think that is going to be my chances for this week. I think I've got to risk Son. I've got to risk Lascelles. It's not ideal, as I'll probably end up with 10 men because Mubama doesn't play. Kabore can't play. So it's up to Gahey as my only sub. But I guess I'm going to have to take that risk. We'll get the transfers up now. So these are my options for Mbuemo. So let's go midfielders. So this is without upgrading Matty Cash. So let's not forget I do want to do that. We'll take Cash out as well. So I've got 12 million to spend. I'd say let's go for, leave your suggestions in the comment section below who I should bring in. For me, Bowen is an option, definitely. We'll sort by price on that. So Bowen is definitely an option here. I've just taken him out, which is annoying, but yeah, it's just one of them things. Anyone above Bowen, De Bruyne, no. Rashford is now ill. Odegaard, I don't think Arsenal's fixtures are good enough to want to bring in a second Arsenal midfielder. Bruno Fernandes, that's not consistent enough for me. I think there are better options out there. Martinelli, again, the fixtures are not great. So it comes down to Bowen, which I do like Bowen with the fixtures he's got. Fulham away, but as I said, Fulham are no mugs this season. Wolves are no mugs, and then Man United, and then they got Arsenal away in 19. Because there is a possibility I play my wild card in 20 rather than 19. Foden for 2 weeks. it's just not worth it for me. So it is very, very limited here. So you could go maybe a Liverpool, but again, their fixtures are not great. Sterling, a lot of people are talking about. So I can see why, but I just don't think he's consistent enough. I know 5 goals, 4 assists is not bad, but 3 of them returns were in one game. No, yeah, well, 6 of them were in 2 games. So that makes only 3 other returns in other games. Yeah, for me, I don't think Sterling is the one, especially being on 5 yellow cards and being 7 million. You can go for someone that has the same fixtures and has penalties for cheaper. So that is who I will be going for. Let me know in the comment section below who you think I should bring in. We'll read out a few comments now because we've got a few through. So Lloyd with a question. I'm thinking to captain someone that plays a home fixture. It's a hard week. Yeah, who though? Son would be the only one, I guess, in my team anyway. I don't think I would. Maybe, yeah. Let me know in your team who'd go for. Maybe a Man United player. Garnacho, good shout only this week. Yeah, fair enough. I think with Rashford out as well, he's probably going to start more than likely to start. So I do think that is a good shout this week. Do you own Garnacho? Which team have the best run of fixtures for the upcoming game weeks? Okay, we'll go on to that after I just do my transfers. But just off the bat, it's Chelsea has a really, really good fixtures. But we'll go on to that after I do this transfer. But let me know what you think of these transfers, and do you think I should bring in anyone else rather than Palmer? For defenders, so I got 6.6 million to spend. So obviously Trippier or Trent would have been lovely, but I can't afford them, and I don't think their fixtures are great. Yes, Newcastle you could argue, but they've got Spurs away in this game week. So for me, I don't really want to be bringing them in. Reece James is someone I do really, really like. Originally, this was going to be my transfer, but I've been put off a little bit by, I guess, other managers by the fact that he didn't start against Man United, even though he had a 10-day rest. By the fact Chelsea are still in the Carabao Cup, and I'm sure Reece James is going to be playing in that one. It's a big, big game against Newcastle. So for me, I do really like Reece James. He started 4 games this season. He's only got 8 points because obviously that minus points, and he's only got 1 assist. So he's been sent off in one of them. He's got an assist in the other, and then two blanks. But I don't know if this is me thinking about the old Reece James or Reece James before the injuries, because I think with Chelsea's fixtures, I kind of see it as a really, really good option. However, for me, who I'm on my wild card, so I have to play it by game week 20. So it's either going to be 19 or 20. So I'm going to lose that Luton game probably. Well, I'm definitely going to lose that Luton game. Potentially going to lose that Palace game. So really, it's only Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away, which on paper looks like really good games, but for Chelsea, that might not be really good games. Everton are on fire at the moment, really, really good this season. If it wasn't for that 10-point deduction, I think they'd be 1 point above Chelsea, which shows how bad, I guess, Chelsea have been and how not bad Everton have been. Sheffield United at home, yeah, massive opportunity for points, for clean sheets. But Wolves away, I think, will be tough as well. So on paper, this is just from a defensive point of view. For Palmer, I think there's goals in all these games, but from a defensive point of view, I think Everton can score and I think Wolves can score. So really, you're only really looking at 1 clean sheet with potential of attacking returns, with the fact that he's got to stay fit. For me, I'm not too sure on that one. I'm not too sure. Another option is Pedro Porro. So a lot of people have been talking about Pedro Porro. It's because of his attacking return. He's got 3 assists in the last 4 games. The fixtures again are not great, and especially for me with wildcarding in 19 or 20, I'm going to miss the Bournemouth away at home game, and I'm potentially going to miss the Brighton away game. So it's not as good for me because I won't be getting that Bournemouth at home game. But Newcastle at home, Forest away, Everton at home, Forest away and Everton at home. Could you argue that there's 1 clean sheet in either of them? So say you got 1 clean sheet in the next 3, then you've got potential assist points. It might just be worth going for Porro just for the safer option, just for the fact that he's nailed. He's probably not going to get injured, touch wood. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below, Reece James or Pedro Porro. And I'll read out a few questions while I decide. So, planning to bring Garnacho in from Burma. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think that's not a bad move. Do you think he'll start though after when Rashford's back? Let me know what you think. Connor, thinking of taking a punt to triple captain Porro. I know you advise against it, but I think if it pays off, I'll move up the ranks. Yeah, you're right. I will advise against it, but I think do what you want to do. It's your team. I'd probably think about there are other opportunities to do something different, rather than triple captain a defender like against Newcastle. I think there are better games out there. Even Porro against Forest or Porro against Everton at home. If you wanted to captain Porro, are probably better options, and they're still going to do the same for you in terms of ranks. So I'd probably just keep that in mind, that there are other options out there to do something different that kind of don't involve captaining Porro against Newcastle at home. But again, it's your team. Do what you got to do, and if it does pay off, definitely let me know. If you have just joined in, please make sure you do like and subscribe, and yeah, leave a comment below of your questions for game week 16, and let me know who your captain is. But we're going to my transfer. So I'm a bit in a stuck situation because I do really want Reece James, but I know it's gonna backfire. I know he's gonna get injured. Even though I only need him for 3 game weeks, I still know he's gonna get injured, or he's gonna get rotated, or he's gonna get rested. So for that reason, I think I'm just gonna go for Pedro Porro, go for the attacking returns. The fixtures are not bad for Spurs. Yes, Newcastle at home is not the best, but we've seen Newcastle just capitulate away from home a few times this season. And Spurs really do need a win. They haven't won in the last 5 game weeks, so they are desperate for a win. So hopefully Porro can get an assist and be part of that. So I'll do this live on stream now. So I do have 2 free transfers as well. So Porro will come in for Mark Gahey. We'll save team. Lovely. Team has been saved. So this is how my team will line up for game week 16. You reckon Porro captain? If you're still watching, make sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. We'll just go on to some of the teams that have good fixtures coming up. But yeah, let me know who your captain is as well. And we'll get onto this now. So I like to use FPL team to look at fixtures. I think they've got a really nice like a fixture ticker coming up. We'll get it up now. Let me know where you're from as well if you're watching. I want to see how global this is. Okay, so this is the best tool I use. So see if we can get that all in one go. Okay. So we'll go through the teams. We'll start off with Arsenal. So I think their fixtures are not the best, to be honest, at the moment. But again, it is Arsenal. It is one of the best teams in the league at the moment. So I think for that reason, that you could argue that it's not a bad decision to bring in their players. But for me, I just wouldn't do it at this current stage. I think there are better options out there, and I think that in terms of attacking for like fixture wise, I think there are better teams to attack, better teams with better fixtures, with better players on form at this current moment. So for that reason, I'd probably stay clear from bringing in any Arsenal players, especially with Villa away, Brighton at home, and Liverpool away. I think it's not the best fixtures currently. Aston Villa, again, a team that is on fire this season, and currently they just beat Spurs, just beat Man City. So I can see why a lot of people want to bring them in. For me, though, the next two fixtures, or at least the Arsenal game, is probably not the correct time to bring them in. Arsenal at home, Brentford away. Yes, their home form's been really, really good, but I think it's just not the best time to bring them in. So I'll probably hold off bringing in any Aston Villa players until game week 18, when they have Sheffield United at home, then they have Man United away, then they have Burnley at home. So I'd probably hold off until that. Bournemouth, I think after this, or even now, the Man United away game is not the end of the world. Then they've got Luton, Forest, Fulham. So some really good fixtures there. If you are looking to bring in Solanke, then I do like that. I do like Semenyo as well as the cheap forward. I think he can be a really, really good option. Brentford, I would stay clear. They've got the blank. The double hasn't been announced yet, so there's no reason to really have Brentford players. So yeah, for that reason, I probably wouldn't go for Brentford players. We'll break there and go for a few questions. So we've got a thing here from Mister. Hey mate, just joined the mini league. I'm ranked 150th in the overall in FPL. Wow, well done. Hopefully you win it. Do you still have all your chips? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for joining, by the way. Brighton next. So Brighton are just a team that are a bit frustrating. They're a bit up and down. They haven't kept a clean sheet this season still. So definitely don't buy any of the defenders, but maybe a Dingra, maybe Evan Ferguson could be an option. But I just think with them being in the Europa League, with the amount of games they're playing, with the amount of options they have at the moment, I think I would stay clear of Brighton until at least game week 21, where they have a nice set of fixtures. So yeah, I'd stay clear of Brighton for now. I wouldn't be bringing in, but I'd be keeping if I did own. Burnley. Again, Burnley is a team that I wouldn't be rushing to bring players in for. If you want to bring in Charlie Taylor to sit on the bench, then fair enough. You could play him maybe in some of these fixtures, but for me, I'd stay clear of Burnley. Chelsea's the team we need to be looking at, I think. Their fixtures over the next 6 are really, really good. So they played 2 promoted teams, which is massive. Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Wolves away, Palace at home, Luton away, Fulham at home. So some really, really good fixtures in there. even after that, they've got Wolves and Palace, but then they run into a tricky run again. It seems like this season Chelsea have all their tough fixtures at the same time. So you get these spells of tough fixtures, which they've had about 5 game weeks ago. They had Spurs, Man City, Arsenal. But now they've got some really good fixtures, and it does annoy me that I didn't go for Reece James, but I think it was the smartest thing to do. Palace sell and stay clear. Them fixtures are horrific. Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal. So terrible up until game week 22. So maybe in game week 22 you could bring them in, but for now, stay clear. Everton, I'd say the fixtures are not great either. Chelsea, Burnley, Tottenham, Man City, Wolves, Villa. So tough fixtures in there. Probably Burnley's the only fixture you're going to be wanting to play your Everton players in, and maybe Chelsea at home. But other than that, it is a tough fixture run. Fulham, I actually like Fulham a lot. I think their fixtures are actually pretty good as well. West Ham at home, Newcastle away, but that is a Newcastle away after they play against Milan in the Champions League, where they need to win. So who knows what will happen in that game, whether they're going to kind of leave it all out there. So I do like Fulham. Burnley at home, then Bournemouth away, and then they have Chelsea and Arsenal. But even after that, they've got Everton, Burnley, and Bournemouth. So they've got Burnley and Bournemouth in the next like eight game weeks. So we've got them twice. So yeah, I do like the look of Everton, but maybe from game week 17 onwards, or even from game week 19 onwards. But apart from, sorry, not Everton, Fulham. I mean, maybe from now. Actually, I do really like Fulham. Liverpool, so Palace away, Man United at home, Arsenal away, Burnley away, Newcastle at home, Bournemouth away. It is a mixed bag, so I'd probably say if you own Liverpool assets, just keep them, or maybe you could set them in game week 17 where they've got Man United, Arsenal, and Newcastle on the next 4. That is a potential option, but for me, I'd probably just keep. I'm going to keep Tsimikas until Robertson is back, until I play my wild card. Luton, the fixtures are a mixed bag. They've got Bournemouth and Sheffield United, but both away games, and they've got tough home games, so I'd stay clear of Luton. Man City, very good team. Very good team. Very good fixtures. Not in form at the moment, but they haven't won in the last 4. But with Luton and Palace in the next 2, I think there's a really good game for City. And then Everton and Sheffield United after the blank, again, really good. So for me, if you can bench your City options, I'd be getting them in now and benching them in game week 18. If you don't have the room, or you don't have the bench for it, then maybe stick with 1 or 2. But other than that, really good fixtures there. So for me, I'm going to sell them in game week 18 and wildcard in game week 19 or game week 20. I'll have to decide when I'm going to wildcard. But yeah, I really do like the look of Man City players for the next 8 game weeks. Man United's fixtures are a mixed bag as well. Bournemouth at home, good fixture, I'd say, even though Bournemouth are doing a lot better this season. Liverpool away, West Ham away, Villa at home, Forest away, Spurs at home. I'd say Man United fixtures probably from game week 22, but beforehand I wouldn't be bringing in any Man United players. Newcastle's actually look pretty good with Spurs away. Okay, that they're going to concede in that, but there's no doubt that they could score as well. Then they also have Fulham, Luton, Forest after that, so some really good fixtures. Then they run into some tough fixtures: Liverpool away, City at home, Villa away. So for me, I think having Newcastle assets from game week 17 to game week 19 could be a good option, especially like me on my wild card. I'll probably try and bring in Isak, or try and bring in a player in game week 19 that can kind of tide me through into our wild card. Nottingham Forest, I'd probably just stay clear. Their form's not great. They've been conceding a lot of goals. I'll just stay clear for a moment. Same with Sheffield United. Spurs is an interesting one. 2 home games. The next 3, obviously, goes home away. But is a difficult one. The fixtures do look good, and they really do need to start to win games. They haven't won in 4, and I think there are some winnable games in there. Newcastle, I think, is a winnable game for Spurs. Newcastle don't like going away from home. If it was at St James's Park, then fair enough. You could argue that. It's still a tough fixture, but you could argue Newcastle are favourites, but I think Spurs are favourites in this one. Forest away. Forest have been terrible recently, conceding a lot of goals. Everton at home, even though Everton have been doing a lot better, you've got to fancy Spurs in that home game. But Brighton away, again with the Europa League, you've got to fancy Spurs in that one, and then Bournemouth at home. So I think there are some winnable games here for Spurs. So that's why I have brought in Pedro Porro. For those of you that have just joined, I will be going through my team again after I go through these fixtures and showing you my transfers that I've made live on stream. West Ham, some good fixtures, but I just don't really trust them. Bowen is a good option, but other than that, I may be Kudus, but other than that, I won't be going for anyone. Fulham away, Wolves at home. Again, on paper, they look good, but both in real good form at the moment. Then Man United, Arsenal, Brighton, which there's goals in them games, definitely. So Bowen could be an option, and especially with Sheffield United and Bournemouth after that, I think Bowen could be an option, but anyone else, I just wouldn't really be going for. Wolves with Hwang Hee-chan, it would definitely be an option, but he's on 4 yellow cards. So for me, I'd stay clear of him. But the fixtures do look good for Wolves. I was thinking about bringing in Craig Dawson, but I did go against it. Forest at home, Palace, West Ham away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Everton at home. So some mixed fixtures. For me, the best fixtures are Man City, even with the blank. So if you can deal with the blank, get Man City players in. And I'd say get Chelsea players in. I think the fixtures over the next 6 do look really, really good for Chelsea. And even Spurs, they look pretty good. So for me, Spurs, Man City, and Chelsea. If you're looking for maybe a cheaper option, maybe a Bournemouth player for the next 4 game weeks could be an option. But other than that, yeah, I think definitely try and target Chelsea players. So I'll answer a few questions and I'll go through my team one more time. So Mr. V here. I played a terrible bench boost with 3 points, but I do have 3 hit and triple F, still 150th in the world. I'm happy with that. I'm 99 points currently. Wow. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, let us know how you go. Hopefully you can win it. That would be great. Any tips for the chat and for me? I'm looking at James for game week 17. Let's see how he's doing. Beat Everton first if he gets 49 minutes or not. Yeah, fair enough. See, for me, I still got my wild card. So, by the way, this is not my routine. I don't have Pyro captain. For me, as I've still got my wild card, I was really, really thinking about going for Porro. I mean, going for James because I only needed him to stay fit for 3, maybe 4 game weeks. But even that, I just can't trust. I just can't trust Chelsea at the moment. I just think they're so up and down. Reece James particularly could get injured, could not get injured, could get a red card, Reece James is not the player that is going to add stability to my team right before a wild card. If it was 1 or 2 week punt, then fair enough. And I could still do that with Gahey. I do have a bit of money in the bank, so I could kind of upgrade Gahey and maybe drop Alvarez down to someone in a game week or 2. So there are options to get James in, but for now, I think Porro was the safer pick. Hello, hey. Some news about Son. Yeah, so the news from Ange is basically not great. So he's just been saying not great in terms of he hasn't really given us much, but he's basically said that everyone else is fit apart from Son, and he's kind of said nothing serious apart from the Son thing. So he could basically word it as oh, nothing serious apart from Son's injury, or he could have been like, oh yeah, no one else is injured apart from, oh, Son's got that little knock. It could have been worded either way, so we don't actually know. I'm going to be playing Son. I think he will play. I think it came out after the game saying it was fine. Ange hasn't ruled him out, so for that reason, I'm going to be playing Son, and I think he will start. I think if Spurs had other options, and I think if Son was a different player, not the captain, then maybe. But I think Son will play. We've seen him play before with a injury, so for me, I think Son will play. Hello. Would you sell him for Bowen, taking a -4 before price change? No, I would not sell Son for a -4. Even if he is out, I don't think he'd be out for more than one game week. I think it would just be a little knock. Again, we don't know. So, and I don't hate that move, but I don't think I'd be doing it for a -4. If you wanted to do it for a free transfer, then I think that's fair enough. But for a -4, you're relying on Son not playing and Bowen scoring a goal, really, or getting an assist against who have they got? West Ham against Fulham away. Again, Fulham are in form at the moment, so for me, I don't think it's worth that risk, and I do think Son will play. No worries. Please make sure you do like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Keep them questions coming. I will be staying on for a little bit longer. Let me know what your chances are as well. I might go through my potential wildcard team for game week 19, 20, potentially game week 19 or 20, just to see the difference. We'll go through it, and you can let me know what you think. So I just have to do my transfers first, make sure it comes up. Okay, so I've gone on Burmo to Palmer. And then I've gone Matty Cash to Pedro Porro. So this is my team for game week 16. So we'll just go through and see what my wildcard team would be. So game week 17. Wow, I still had Kabore, don't I? Keep leaving your questions in. I will be answering them all before the stream ends. We'll just go through my transfers up until my wild card just to see what the options are, I guess. So Kabore is going to be, Simicast is going to be playing. Okay, so this is game week 17. So I'd probably be playing. Probably be playing Kabore. I'll probably leave defense as it is, and leave the team as it is. To be honest, I could potentially take out Alvarez a game week early, and can't afford Watkins, so that's the only issue. But I could go for someone like Isak, who has Fulham at home. But again, we don't know if Wilson is fit or not, so I'll probably just leave that and roll, and then have 2 transfers in game week 18. So game week 18 is a tricky one. I'd probably drop Simicast, play him against Arsenal. I'll probably drop Simicast for Gahey. I'm probably gonna have to play him in the end anyway. Then I can take out Alvarez and Haaland. So I'd definitely be going for Watkins. And then Haaland for a Wilson or Isak, depending on who I think will start, or Nkuku if Nkuku is back. But I'd probably be going for an Isak. So this would be my team. I'd probably captain Watkins, I'd say, or Son. So this would be my game week 18 team, and I still have a bit of a bench just in case players don't play. A lot of people will be holding Haaland, might even be holding Alvarez. So this is only a positive for me having the wild card is to take out players for game week 18. And then game week 19, I'll just have to decide whether I think I need the wild card. So Simicast can come back in. Kabore has Sheffield United away, which potentially I could play him instead of Porro, but I'd probably just leave it like that. It'd be first on my bench anyway. So for this game week, obviously I don't have Haaland, but I could potentially get Haaland back in for Watkins. So this leaves me like that, which I don't actually hate. I think it's actually a really good team for game week 19, which makes me think, should I just play it in game week 20? So game week 20 looks a lot like this. So I probably want to get rid of my Newcastle assets with Liverpool, City, Villa in the next 3. Probably want to get rid of Simicast. We'll have a look at what time frame that is, because if it's be near that maybe one game week until the Asia Cup, so I'll probably be getting rid of Salah or Son. Son has Bournemouth at home, so I'll probably be getting rid of Salah. I have a quick Google to see when AFCON is. Let me know what you think so far. Do you think I can get away with? So it says the 13th of January, which comes out to around, I'm just trying to work out the time difference here. 13th of January is the start. So that's game week 21 for the AFCON. For Asia Cup start time. Start date. So AFCON is game week 21, and the Asia Cup, can't actually find it. Asia Cup football, 12th of January. So yeah, the same. So game week 21. So really, do I want Son or Salah for one game week? Not too sure, but let's take out the players that I'm going to take out. So Newcastle players are gone. We'll go Watkins in. So this will be the wild card. Gordon probably be gone. For someone like, where we look at the fixtures from game week 21. So Arsenal look really, really good. Maybe a West Ham look good. Okay, we'll go for we'll get some Arsenal players in. So we'll go Lascelles to maybe a Saliba. Simicast has probably got to go. Oh, it's a tough one for Trent, but I don't think I can. You can probably afford Trent because there's no Son, there's no Salah, so I'd probably go for Trent, even though the fixtures are not great. I'd probably go for a Villa defender because they've got some good fixtures. Maybe someone like Pau Torres. Again, this all depends though on it all depends on whether where is Pau Torres? It all depends on whether there's a double game week for City and Brentford. Because if there is, I'm going to be loading up on Flecken and Burmo if he's fit, on players like that. So I can't bench Trent though, so we'll leave that there. Maybe it's too much of a benching headache. I'd probably change Kabore to Charlie Taylor or someone around 4.5, maybe Branthwaite, actually. Still got his place. Palmer, Saka, Salah. Do I take out Saka? Newcastle at home. I mean, Salah, I'm probably going to have to, especially on wildcard. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be fit here, but another Arsenal mid, Maddison could be a good one, but I'm going to go Bowen to be safe. Gordon could potentially stay, but yeah, we're not too sure. Son, Bournemouth at home. I do want to keep him for that game, to be honest. Bournemouth at home. I do think it's a really good fixture. But do I want to keep him for one game week? Is he going to punish me? Probably. But I think I'm just going to leave him for now. We'll sort the sub defender out and see how much money we got. I do like the look of Semenyo. 4.5 million. Solanke. Okay, Semenyo. Okay, I'm 0.1 million short, but we don't really want Onana. The Bravka, if he's still an option. Spelled Dubravka. Oh. And then I'd probably them fixtures. Then I'd probably go for Areola as well. Yeah, so that would be my goalkeepers. I've got 0.4 in the bank. I don't want Gordon, to be honest, with them fixtures. So let's say I keep Son. I've got 6.4 million. I think Burmo has to go in with them with the fixtures. Palace, Forest, and then potential double game week. We don't know that yet, and I think Son probably has to go. For maybe a Phil Foden or a De Bruyne. I think that would be my wildcard team. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Am I just picking it because I want to change some players, or is that the best team? That will probably be my wildcard team. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, we'll go for a few questions now. Everyone that's still here, please make sure you do like the stream. It does help me out, and subscribe to the channel, and keep leaving your questions in. So good morning from Laos. Nice one. Good morning. Got one from McTom, Gordon, or Gabriel. That is tough. I can't believe you've got McTominay though. Hopefully you've had him for his hauls, but I'd probably drop Gabriel. I think if there's a chance to only play 3 defenders, then happy days. Or unless you mean transfer out, then I'd probably still say Gabriel. McTominay, I don't think he's a good option long term, but at the moment he's on fire, so I don't hate it at all. So yeah, I'd probably drop Gabriel. Question from Mr. V. Why did you wildcard so late? I wildcarded in game week 9 and made a lot of money with it. 105 team value. You know, it was late. I just didn't need it. My team was okay. The only people I probably missed out on was Watkins, to be honest. And Watkins, okay, he's done okay, but he hasn't killed me. Having Watkins over Alvarez. Other than that, I guess I've had pretty much everyone I needed, and I've still got my wild card. Obviously, so when did you wildcarded in game week 9? So 1 minute, I'll just get this up because it's a good thing to show by. Yeah, I'll just get this up quickly. So I don't know if you can see this. I'll try and zoom in. So game week 9, I was 1.1 million. And I've gone up, I guess, 300,000. And I've still got my wild card. So for me, it's not the end of the world. I don't know if you can see all my red arrows. I've only had 3 green arrows this season, but I brought in Son before his haul against Burnley when no one owned him, and I went from 1.2 million to 53,000. But this is all because I didn't have Salah, all this part. And then from here, to be honest, 1.7 million or even 1.1 million, I've gone up. Obviously, this game week was not the best, but I've gone up 300 places, and I've still got my wild card. I think my wild card can make a huge difference, especially if that double game week does come for Brentford and City. I am relying on that double game week a lot, but hopefully it does come, and then I can just bring in loads of their players on my wild card, and it makes up for it. But team value wise, let me just get that up. Team value. Where did it go? One minute, I'm just getting up my team value. Yeah, so you got loads more. I got 101.6. So you've got nearly like 4 million on me, 3.7 million. Yeah, so it's probably it's worth it. You can get better players, but I don't think money's an issue this season. I think especially with the AFCON and Asia Cup, no Salah, no Son. I don't think it's an issue to bring in, like to have the money. Yes, after that later on in the season, you're probably going to benefit more when De Bruyne is back as well, when maybe Rashford and Odegaard and these sort of players are doing the business. Maybe another big money striker comes in, but there's no Harry Kane either. So I know money is always an issue, but I don't think it's as big an issue this season because of AFCON. Potentially, you might be able to afford Trippier rather than me go for a 4.5 million defender, which is a massive difference. Don't get me wrong, but I think with AFCON, it's not that much of a bigger deal. And I've still got my wild card, so I could jump on more price rises, etc. My only goalkeeper is Areola, and I have 3 Newcastle players. Can I sell Lascelles and Bride Dubravka for a -4, or buy Sanchez with no hits? I would not. I just wouldn't be using hits on a goalkeeper. I know you're using it on 2 players, but I just wouldn't be using a hit to take out a goalkeeper, because really you're happy with Lascelles, right? So if you're happy with Lascelles, you're basically saying that you're going to be taking a hit to bring in Dubravka. For me, I don't think that's worth it. I think Sanchez is actually a not bad option. Their fixtures are good. They haven't shown that they're solid defensively, but the fixtures are good. So I'd probably go Sanchez for no hit, or even wait to see if Areola is fit. Potentially could be fit, but you're right. I think a wrist injury for a goalkeeper is not the best. No, your English is good. Yeah, I don't know why you said that. Just subscribed. Thank you very much, William's Tropical Farm. Let me know where you are. You sound like you're near me. I feel like there's a tropical farm near me. in Australia. Son risky. He will sub maybe just 10 minutes. Yeah, I can't see him being on the bench, to be honest. I think he's going to miss out completely if he's going to miss out. I can't see him being on the bench. Saka and is this so this would be for Asia Cup and AFCON. I think you've got to be looking to spread money elsewhere because I don't think there's big money midfielders. But I'd probably go for Bowen as a consistent player that will score goals. But yeah, I'd probably go for Bowen if you had the option. Haaland, Alvarez, Darwin up top with template mid, Trippier, Porro, Tsimikas, Colwell, and Gabriel at the back. Yeah, very good team. I like the Colwell pick, and you've got Porro as well. So yeah, no, I like that team a lot. So who's your midfield then? Because are you playing Haaland, Alvarez, Darwin all the time? See you, mate. Cheers for locking in and good luck. Hopefully you win FPL. -8 this week, bringing Ganacho to Bravka Nunes in. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think Nunes will start this week, and yeah, Ganacho should start with Rashford out. So no, I do like that move. Who else did you? Oh, -8. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do like the move, but it depends obviously on who you're taking out to see if it's worth it. But I like the players you're bringing in. What we do with Gordon, this game week I'm keeping, but I was just looking at my game week, my game week 19, 20 my game week 20 wild card. So I think the fixtures turn for Newcastle, so I'll probably be taking out a lot of Newcastle assets around that time. So I think that's what you saw. McTom has been on bench just for this week. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh, it's a shame that you missed out on the Halls though. But I think Bournemouth at home is a good game to play him in if you are. Keep sending through your questions. I'm going to stay on for a bit longer, and let me know where you're from and what transfers you're making. I'll just share my screen so you can see my team. So yeah, this is how my team is shaping up for the game week. Yeah, let me know who your captain is, your transfers, all of that. And let me know where you're ranked as well. That'd be good to see. And where you're from. Keep leaving your comments in and I'll answer them. Keep leaving your comments in. Okay, we'll get them in now. So, would you keep Gahey? Question. I'm going to be keeping him, so I've got him in my team, as you can see on my bench, but only because I had Matty Cash, so I've taken out Matty Cash instead. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm keeping Gahey. But it all depends on your team, to be honest. If you can afford to take him out, or then do it. But yeah, I just rather take out Matty Cash and have Gahey as a definite starter on the bench. Rank 8.8 million. Nice, mate. Have you used any chips? Let me know. We'll do a few score predictions while we're here. I want you to do it with me though. So if you're in the comments, leave your score predictions as I'm leaving them, and I'll put them up on the screen. So we've got first game, which is Palace against Liverpool. So I'd say a really, really good game for Liverpool. This Palace have not been in great form last few game weeks, and I think Liverpool have been. They've only lost one game, which was that game against Spurs, which was I guess controversial for Liverpool, where the Diaz goal happened, and obviously VAR didn't give them the decision they deserved. So for me, I do fancy Liverpool in this game. That they're unbeaten apart from that game. They're in really good form, and I think Palace are stinking out of the place at the moment. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I do think Palace will score, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Make sure you leave your score predictions as well in the comments. So we'll do it along together. So I've gone for 3-1 Liverpool. Next up, Brighton v Burnley. I do fancy Brighton in this fixture. I think they'll score a lot of goals in this one. Burnley, although they battered Sheffield United did have 10 men, so that does play a big part. And Sheffield United are awful, so that doesn't help the situation. So I'm going to go for a 2-0. I can't know, maybe a 3-1 again. 3-1 Brighton win. Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet this season. So, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brighton win. Let me know in the comments. Next up, we've got Man United, Bournemouth. Man United have kind of been going under the radar. Yes, they're a bit stinky, but they've been getting a lot of results, which is, I guess, the main thing in football is to win the games. But I do fancy Man United to win this game, even though Bournemouth have been doing pretty well this season. I think that this has got a Bruno Fernandes 1-0 penalty written all over it, so I'm going to go for 1-0 United. Again, let me know in the comments what you're going to go for. Sheffield United v Brentford. Sheffield United are awful, but Brentford have a lot of injuries. I think Vissa might be out now as well, and Burmo's out. Tony's obviously suspended. A lot of players out. Brighton, Brentford, sorry, and Sheffield United are just awful. So I can actually see this game being a 0-0. I just can't see either team kind of taking a foothold in this game. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 0-0 in this one. Next up, Wolves v Forest. A derby, kind of a Midlands derby, not a West Midlands derby, but a derby-ish. Wolves are doing really, really well at the moment and top form. Chan's on fire. Neto, when he wasn't injured, was on fire. Forest, on the other hand, have been conceding a lot of goals. So I think for that reason, I do fancy Wolves to win this game. And I fancy Wolves to win 2-1 in this game. I think Wolves have been, like I said, doing really, really well this season, and I think Forest have been seeing a lot of goals of late. So, yeah, for that reason, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wolves win. So, one of the biggest games, I guess, of the weekend is Villa against Arsenal. So, Villa are very, very good at home. I think Arsenal are very good away from home too. So, I think it will be a very good game. I can see there not being many goals. I think both teams will want to not lose, if anything, rather than go for the win. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 Villa Arsenal game. I think it'll be a draw. I think Villa will maybe go 1-0 up and Arsenal pull it back, as they have been doing quite a lot late on recently. Everton v Chelsea. Again, a tough game. I think this will be a 1-1 as well. I think Chelsea, although they have put a few results together, they lost the last few games, but they put a few results together. Obviously beat who did they beat at home the other day? Can't remember. They beat someone at home the other day. Really good result. They obviously lost to Man United though, midweek. But I think Everton are in good form, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 Everton Chelsea. Fulham West Ham, again another close game, London derby. For me, I would go. I think this is going to be a 2-2 draw. A lot of draws I'm going for. Fulham, West Ham. 2-2 draw. Fulham have been doing very well. Willian could be an option in this game. Raul Jimenez got a couple of goals the other day as well. Luton, Man City. I know I said Luton have been solid at home, but I still don't think they can beat Man City. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Man City win in this game. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Leave your predictions as well. And then the last game of the weekend, Spurs v Newcastle. It's going to be a tough game. I think Newcastle have a lot of injuries. I can see there being a few goals in this game. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Spurs win in this game. But yeah, that's what I think the predictions will be. We'll bring up one last comment and then we'll probably call it a day. So Trip, Porro, Simicast defense, stick, or does Gabriel or Colwell get in? I think Simicast gets in. And I think you have to go Trippier and Porro for the attack and returns. I'd keep it as it is. I think Colwell has a bigger chance of a clean sheet than Trippier or Porro. But I think for the sake of attack and returns, I think you have to go for Trippier and Porro and Simicast in that defense. So I'd probably stick with that one. Well, I think that was it. If there's no more comments, please make sure you do like and subscribe. Go over to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it really does help me out. I just hit, well, a few weeks ago, hit 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, over the moon with that. Hopefully we can get 2,000 before the end of the season. That'll be incredible, or even 1,500 would be good. But yeah, keep watching, hit the notification bell, and yeah, really good luck for the game week. I'm off to seize the day. I'm sure a lot of you are off to bed soon. So yeah, have a good day, and then thank you for tuning in, everyone around the world. Venezuela, we've had people from Lagos, yeah, loads of people from around the world. So it's really great to see. Hopefully we keep chatting through our love of FPL, and yeah, and we'll keep going and we'll keep climbing the ranks and hopefully win our mini leagues. But yeah, good luck for the game week. Please like, subscribe, comment on the video when it's stopped going live, and I'll quickly play my end video, which I'm sure all of you love. And yeah, good luck for
Yo, listen up, Ruiz. Yo, listen up, Ruiz, stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in its veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe. Yo, listen up, Ruiz, stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in its veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe. Yo, listen up, Ruiz, stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in its veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top.